Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be doing my episode review for The Walking Dead, which premiered last night on AMC. I don't know why I do that. As usual, of course, before I start blabbering on and on and on and on and on, with all of my episode review videos for no matter what show it is, but especially for Walking Dead, please be advised this will be full of massive, massive spoilers. If you are not caught up on The Walking Dead, if you're behind on this episode or a few other episodes, please do not keep watching or listening to this video as I will be discussing big spoilers. And once you are caught up and you have seen this episode, come on back and watch this video. So you have been warned. That being said, you know, it was an interesting episode, but God, I hate to admit this, but this is the most. This would be like if I'm being totally honest with you guys, this is the most confused I have ever felt watching The Walking Dead. And when I say confused, is that I totally understand what is going on in the situation and with the characters for the most part. But Carol's shift in behavior and attitude really threw me off. Because up until this point, she was a merciless, soft-spoken badass who could play the facade of the nice, friendly housewife and go to killer. But it was hard. It was kind of hard for me to figure out if, like, during the whole time, she and Maggie are being held hostage by this group of saviors. And yes, they are indeed a part of the saviors. Because at first I thought, what if these people aren't part of the saviors, but just another hostile gang? And the guy on the motorcycle was a friend of theirs who was being held as a prisoner by the saviors, uses the bike to escape, and they want their friend back. But then it became quickly apparent, no, they're all definitely a part of the Saviors, which makes total sense because they were probably on their way back to the compound when they saw it was under attack by Rick's group. But Carol, throughout this whole episode, her behavior, and it was hard for me to tell at first, was she genuinely acting this way as a ruse like she usually does in tight situations, or was this her like reaching her breaking point? Because it felt like she had almost reached her breaking point while maintaining her composure. Because she starts hyperventilating while she's gagged, and Maggie convinces them to take the gag off of her. And even Maggie can't tell if she's faking this or if she's genuinely hyperventilating and panicking for dear life. And I'm like, is Carol reverting back to her old ways of being a meek, scared little mouse? Or is this just all part of her ongoing facade to trick her enemies into thinking that she's weak in order to surprise them later by getting the upper hand on them? But it was kind of uncertain. It was kind of unclear to me. I mean, it became pretty clear towards the end of the episode where they managed to escape, kill their captors. But Carol was, you know what it was? Carol's mercy was slowly returning to her. I don't know if Morgan has a big influence on that or not, or if she's finally reached a point in her life where she has so much blood on her hands. And when I say blood, I'm not talking about walkers. Anybody can kill walkers and not feel bad about it. I'm talking about human blood. It's like, because she was making that list in the previous episode of all the people she's killed, and maybe this is like the what's the word I'm looking for? Not culmination. This is like this was like almost her breaking point. Was that she knew she was probably going to end up killing all of these bad guys if it wasn't just her and Meg, if it wasn't her and Maggie, it was just going to be her. She knew she was going to kill at least one or two people, and maybe her conscience wasn't accepting that anymore. Maybe she simply couldn't manage taking so much life. The loss of life was just too much for her, like overwhelming her completely. Maybe she's not a monster, but she has gotten quite comfortable with killing up till this point, the taking of human life. But it also must be a breaking point for her where she seriously does not want to take any more human life unless absolutely necessary. Because before, for the longest time, she's always been like, oh, they're a problem, kill him. He's a problem, kill him. She's a problem, kill him. They're all a problem, kill them all, kill her, kill him, etc., etc. But I think her concept of mercy and humanity are slowly starting to reabsorb into her psyche or into her personality, and that's going to make her more reluctant to kill, which could put her at a huge disadvantage because if she needs that killer's attitude and that badassery, so to speak, in a tight spot or situation, it could turn around and bite her in the ass where either she bites it or somebody else close to her bites it. Because Maggie almost bit it a few times in this episode, as did Carol. We saw the walker come off of the pole and almost grab her, but Maggie got it off of her, and then she struggled with Paula for a little bit. And maybe what made Carol seem so unsettled during this entire episode was that she recognized a lot of herself in Paula. And Paula didn't necessarily see herself in Carol and up until the end, right before Carol kills her, of course. Shoots her and then stabs her rams her through the pole, and then her face is bitten and ripped off, and she's left to die as Maggie and Carol escape. Also, ingenious idea of mimicking Paula's voice on the radio to trick the other saviors who are coming to meet them anyway, trick them into coming into the slaughterhouse, and then, of course, they have all that gas, the matches, set it ablaze, bye-bye saviors. They have really killed a lot of saviors so far, and we still haven't met Negan. And speaking of Negan, what is this whole we are Negan or we're all Negan thing? As the old woman Molly said, she's like, honey, we're all Negan. I doubt it's a group mentality thing, unless he's got them so brainwashed and so blindly loyal to him. That's what they're repeating or telling each other and to themselves. It's most likely, she was most likely trying to say to Carol, and then later when Primo says it to Rick, I'm Negan, bitch, or I'm Negan, stupid. He's saying we are all like Negan. Like, you think Negan is bad? Well, we're just as bad, or we're as tough and we're as bad as Negan, because that's what Negan wants us to be, because he wants us to be strong survivors and fighters. So it's either a group mentality thing, which I don't think it is, or it's most likely a thing where the saviors have to convince themselves that they're just as tough and as nasty as Negan himself. Because rest assured, guys, yes, Negan, the character, is coming. He'll most likely appear in the dreaded season finale, if not sooner. We've still got 3 more episodes to go. So, he's going to appear, definitely. But don't panic over this whole we are Negan thing. That's most likely the saviors trying to convince themselves and their enemies that they're just as nasty and tough as Negan. Overall, very good episode. It's just, I felt so, about it. I mean, I was just so thrown off with Carol's, not necessarily the actress's performance. Melissa McBride is amazing, but just her whole approach to the whole situation. How she handled the situation kind of threw me off. I couldn't tell if this was all an act for their captors or if she was genuinely feeling this way throughout the entire thing. It was hard to tell. But still enjoyable, still a great episode, and they managed to kill a lot of saviors, which was great. And of course, Daryl got his bike back, and the group was able to track them down to the slaughterhouse right after Carol and Maggie tricked the saviors into going into the kill floor, and they set it ablaze. And Maggie was tough in this episode. She was very tough. I think what happened was that when she had the close call with the woman who slashed her across the stomach, but fortunately it was just a tear in her shirt, that may have also, like Carol, pushed her over the edge, so to speak, where she later took the pistol and just bludgeoned the woman to death with her own pistol. And that wasn't the young woman she did that to. Carol shot the young woman point blank range with her pistol. But before that, Maggie did use the pistol to beat the old woman to death. And I actually liked the old bat. I knew she probably wasn't going to last this episode, but she was an interesting side character. She'll be added to my list of most my favorite short-lived characters on The Walking Dead, and I may do a video about that later. But overall, great episode, very tense, and had some good walker kills and some bloody human kills, but very good and very confusing, if that makes sense. But hearing myself talk about it and reading other recaps, I think it makes more and more sense to me. But overall, I enjoyed it. What did you guys think of the episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was boring? Did you find it intriguing? What do you think was going on with Carol? Please leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. I would love to hear from everybody. As usual, let's please keep it civil and be respectful of one another's beliefs and opinions, of course. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more content and more episode review videos like this one. And don't forget to check out my Facebook page and the link down below. You'll see it down there. Thanks again for stopping by, you guys. Have a great rest of the night. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.